We begin today, chapter 46. Chapter 46, the new idea that we're going to present or start to present today will continue for several chapters. It is a unique technique, a unique method, and how we can bring a love of God into our reality. And it's actually, paradoxically, the easiest, but yet the most profound, and in a sense, the deepest. And the more you are distant, the more real it is. In other words, the more you're distant from the love of God, the more real that this is capable to be implemented in your life. So let us proceed. The terms that the Alter Rebbe uses, that this is another straight way that is equally applicable and very, very close to every single one of us. That what? Through this technique, that we can arouse, kindle a love of God that is there in our hearts, in our souls, that we would be able to give everything, give over everything in divine service of God. Meaning give over everything, meaning our soul, our body, our materiality, to give it over heart and soul with all our might in an absolute truth. Wow. And especially during our prayers in the Shema, in particular, as we'll see later on. All right, what is this then? Intriguing. So it's based on a verse in Mishlei, Ecclesiastics, I think is translated in English, from King Solomon. King Solomon says that the water mirrors the face to the face, so does the heart of an individual to another. So when you look in the water, right, it reflects back exactly what you show. If you show anger, you get reflected back anger. If you show love, devotion, you get reflected back love and devotion. All right, this is of course a metaphor. Likewise, for towards a friend, you show loyalty and love, then quite likely what you're going to get back, a reflection, is loyalty and love. Right. So this then is the basis for the following metaphor, which today the Alter Rebbe only gives us the metaphor in today's class. To unpack the metaphor, we will take a few chapters to do that on various levels. But I think it will be very simple in understanding at least the basic idea. So what is a metaphor? A mighty king, a powerful king. He goes traveling with his entourage, with his ministers, with his servants, and so on. And he sees in his empire, he comes to a place where there's an individual who is filthy and disgusting looking, is living on a pile of dung. Living on a pile of dung, right? And what does this king do, this mighty king do? Takes this individual, cleans him off himself, and then brings him back to the palace. Brings him back to the palace, changes a change of clothes, washes him, he gets washed up, cleans up, and he brings him into the inner chamber, a place where the ministers don't come, a place where no one comes but this individual. Wow. And embraces this individual with a beautiful hug and a kiss. Now, what would be the response of this individual? What would be the reflective response, reciprocal response would be, oh my gosh, I was taken out of such a place and brought into the inner chamber, embraced by this king like no one else? Of course, you're going to reflect, give back an equal love. Even if you have a heart of stone, even if you were, because of what you went through, right? You have a heart of stone, but you're going to reflect back a reciprocal love that would be comparable to what's been shown to you, right? And even if you have a heart of stone, you will sing this person's praises, you will embrace the king and be dutiful to the king and whatever the king needs and wants from you. That's the metaphor. And today the Alter Rebbe doesn't unpack the metaphor. I think we can see where that's going. We know who the king is, God Almighty, who is on the dunghill. It'll be collectively the Jewish people, individually likewise, as we will go and unpack the meaning of this. What does it mean an inner chamber? What does it mean no one else goes there? How do we understand that? And all those details are forthcoming. Here's a short class. So we have a metaphor that we had a metaphor to as a preface to the metaphor, right? What was the preface? K'mayim panim el panim, kein lev ha'adam el adam. As the water reflects the image, likewise, what we express and show to a friend will be reflected back. This is called a reciprocal love. So what we see over here, so imagine the minister being brought into the inner chamber, as opposed to this peasant who's living on a dunghill. So the minister might feel worthy to be brought into the inner chamber. After all, I'm a minister. I administer an important part of the kingdom. So of course the king is going to love me and bring me into the inner chamber. But he doesn't. King doesn't. Brings in this pauper living on a dunghill. Remember, there's a metaphor, so you say, well, why would a king do such a thing? That's irrelevant. We're speaking about God, and we'll see what the metaphor, what it stands for, and who the ministers, and what that all means, and appreciate the concept as we unpack it. But just to bring out the paradox over here, is that the minister, if the minister were to be brought into the inner chamber, well, I'm special, of course. But the pauper who's living on a dunghill and is brought in, it's not going to feel, well, I'm special, I deserve this, and therefore not reflect back the love that was shown. But here in this instance, because of the distance, reflecting back the love, reciprocating the love, is all the more real, all the more powerful than otherwise. So you get a little glimpse of where we're going with this. Okay? And that's it. Who did I not get a chance to say hello to? Mark from Grand Junction, Colorado. Okay, didn't get that clear. Or maybe David from Long Island, Shalom. Stephanie from Bloomington, Illinois. Thank you for joining. Pamela is with us from Virginia, Boker Tov. So Leroy is from Pineapple, Alabama. Wow. First time here with such a place, Pineapple. Joatha from Brazil, good morning. Pathera from Thailand, shalom. All right, thank you. And Robert from St. Louis, Missouri. And who else? Okay, anybody have a question? Anybody have a comment? Looks like, I guess there's clarity over here. All right, folks. Tomorrow we'll unpack it. We'll begin to unpack these teachings. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from my home in Montreal, Canada, where it's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. Please share the Alter Rebbe's teachings with others. Reminder for those interested, tonight 6:30, I will be giving a Torah portion class that you can join on Facebook, not on Chabad.org. It's on Chabad ZK, Chabad Zichrei, Facebook, that you can come and join there. Or for those who have the Zoom or want to have the information, just private message me. And we look forward for the many different things that happen during the week, but most importantly, the Tanya that we learn daily. Have a good day, good tavach, Shavua Tov, and a wonderful good week.